Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun-filled, star-studded, information-overloaded, bombastically entertaining. Yes, Chris?
Are we stars?
We are. We are star-studded.
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty... You know what? We are local stars in a very localized
Like a
area.
block? The 1300 block of our street?
I wouldn't even go that far to say block.
Half a block?
Our house.
Okay, I'll give you that.
We are star-studded. Not even, and our neighbors, our immediate neighbors. In 1320 and 1322, we're star-studded. Nola Nerds! We are everywhere, you know, and things. But yeah, movie review. How about that? What? This time we're going to review...
What's her name?
I was getting there. You want to hold on?
No.
You want to hold
No. No.
Let the big boys talk.
No. No.
Today we're going to do a review about DC Animation's newest animated feature film, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we are the Nola Nerds. And this review is brought to you by the Half-Life Venomous Head Crab.
So The Dark Knight Returns Part 1.
You have to keep it on there the whole time. They paid for sponsorship.
No, they didn't.
They did not.
Okay. So The Dark Knight Returns is Frank Miller's seminal Batman work.
I love that word.
Huh?
Seminal.
Yeah.
It's such a classy sounding word.
It is, isn't it? It's his seminal Batman work. It's his story of an older retired Bruce Wayne who is mad as hell and can't take it anymore and takes the
Comes
fight back.
out of retirement. Now, a lot of people are well versed and familiar with the story, so this also marks DC Animation's first two-parter. Instead of trying to condense it into 70 minutes, giving it time to breathe. Yeah. And since conveniently Dark Knight Returns is in essentially 2 acts.
It's 4 issues. So
yeah. This part 1 of the movie takes place from Batman's resurgence and his dealing with the newly reformed Two-Face up to his fight and triumph over the mutant leader and his gang. Yeah. So part 2 is, of course, going to be all about the fight with Superman
and the Joker.
But that is later. That is next year. This time we'll be talking about part 1.
Yes.
So, go.
Basically, your story is Batman has been retired for about 10 years, and Bruce Wayne is just hating himself. He's trying to kill himself with race cars and booze, and mutants are taking over the street. And he decides he's just going to fuck them up. That's really the plot. Yeah,
I mean, it's Batman going, you know what? Criminals these days need to learn what it is to fear again. You're given through snippets of like newscasters and just news reports and reporters and stuff. We're told things like the fact that no one really believes that Batman ever truly existed anymore because it's been so long since his last appearance.
Yeah.
And we're shown snippets through past and present crime reports, like just that the mutants are a whole nother league of just villain. Like there is no rhyme or reason behind it. They just they kill and hurt for the fun of it.
Yeah, strictly for pleasure. Watching this, I'm struck by the fact that the Dark Knight Returns film with Christian Bale took a lot from Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, excuse me. Like, there's a lot of parts in there that I was like, well, I saw this live action. Oh, I guess this came first. Rock on.
Yeah. You can see that Christopher Nolan definitely took homage or inspiration from this.
It's also worth noting this is a Frank Miller piece, and Frank Miller's very controversial. And nowadays. And all I'm going to say is, when Frank Miller works, it's beautiful. There's the final fight between him and the mutant leader is one of the better things I've seen animated.
They definitely nailed the choreography, especially with basically Batman taking him to school.
Yes.
Just like
this isn't
teaching him.
This isn't a mud pit. This is an operating table.
This is not, and I'm the surgeon.
Yeah. No. On the downside, when it doesn't work, it's a little weird because there's a lot of hippies and people in the media being all wishy-washy, like, we don't need a Batman. Meh, meh, meh.
Yeah, it was definitely Frank Miller's 1980s social commentary.
Like,
on,
I hate hippies.
And the fact that, like, just pro-con vigilantism and just the ineffectualness of just politicians and whatnot. But, that's the... it's much more prevalent in the book. In the comic, that's much more glossed over as window dressing for what people really came here to see, which was Frank Miller, like, the Dark Knight Returns visual aesthetic, put into an animated feature.
Mm-hmm.
And just... It almost seeing how far they push the boundary of how far dark they're willing to go in their animated movies. It's definitely had some brutal parts to it that brought back memories of the Red Hood movie and others of its kind.
It's worth comparing it to... There was an episode of Batman, the animated series, where 3 kids were telling their interpretations of Batman. And there was a Frank Miller Batman Dark Knight Returns story.
Yep.
And it's worth comparing to that. And unfortunately, I think the TV show captured the feel of it a little better. I don't think the movie's art was quite
up to snuff.
Up for it. I mean, Frank Miller's got a very hard style to, like, emulate, especially for film. But I think this one, they tried to, like, mix it with a cleaner, a smoother animation style, and it doesn't work because his Batman is square and jagged and
I would
stuff like
say
that.
it was almost clean.
Yeah, it was very clean.
And the depiction they're trying to give of Gotham and Batman himself, it didn't jive very well.
No.
But it was still a beautiful movie to look at.
Oh, yeah. No, it was still fun.
So animation-wise, the movie was top-notch, especially in terms of their fight choreography. They took it a step up. But
there's also a lot of adult themes for a movie. These DC movies have been, kind of all ages-y in the past. I mean, Red Hood was probably the darkest.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't
the darkest timeline.
It wasn't super dark.
No.
But this one, I think, is it's kind of a little much for, like, an animated film. It's kind of, like, almost too dark for it.
Think so?
I think they're in a weird middle ground where, this movie's not for kids.
No.
But it's not quite for adults either, because it's in the weird in-between place where I don't know who it's for.
Everyone. All ages.
No.
Batman fans.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll give you that. But like this movie's and its source material could inherently be made darker, and they didn't pull the trigger on it for whatever reason. It was just kind of just there.
Okay. But let's talk about another major aspect of all these DC animated movies, which is the voice cast.
Yes.
And the voice acting. Because a lot of times these movies can be made or broken on the strength of their cast.
Yes.
And I know you were particularly happy with who they got to play Batman.
I was initially very pleased because I think Peter Weller's a fairly inspired choice. Peter Weller was RoboCop in the first film, and he was also in the 4th season of Dexter, 5th season of Dexter, and he was pretty great in that too. And he did a good job, but thinking about it, because it's been a while since we've seen it, I kind of really would have rathered Michael Ironside, who did the voice work, in that Batman animated show.
Well,
I mean,
it's kind of hard to beat Michael Ironside if you're trying to play a gruff older man.
It's such a nitpick because Peter Weller did okay. He captured, I think, the weariness of it, and when he delivers like those lines, like, this is not a mud pit, this is an operating table, it's pretty good. But it's also Michael Ironside that I'm mentally comparing him to. And it's a tough comparison.
It's an unfair comparison.
It's super unfair.
No, it's like going from Kevin Conroy to Diedrich Bader in Brave and the Bold. It's like, even though we logically understand it's two completely separate target audiences, you can't separate the Batman from the Batman.
No,
it's unfortunate.
It's a hard thing, and I think the more we watch it, like it'll become more natural. But in my initial viewing,
well, like, how would you compare him to, like, the Red Hood Batman?
The Red Hood Batman was... The Red Hood Batman is the man who's doing it on Young Justice, Bruce Greenwood.
Yeah.
And I think he's fine. He's not Kevin Conroy, but again, in Young Justice, he's not the Batman we know. He's just kind of there. So it doesn't really matter.
What did you think of the new Robin? I mean, because that was another big point of this, is that there's a female gymnastic Robin named Carrie Kelly, or Kelly. I forgot.
Carrie Kelly.
Yeah, Carrie Kelly.
I thought her voice work was good. I like how they tied in that she's a gymnast and stuff like that. So it was like
there was a great subtle scene where all they do is they pan to her bedroom where she's like listening to the reports of Batman and getting inspired, and without a word being spoken, they show that she has tons of trophies and medals, and then on the walls there's pictures of gymnastics and stuff. Yeah. And you just get in that one scene, you get everything you need to know about why she feels like she can do this.
Yeah, admittedly, it's been a long time since I've read Dark Knight Returns, and it feels like that she just kind of did it just cause.
Well, to my knowledge, yeah, she just
yeah. So, but in this one, I like the fact that they were like, oh, she's a gymnast, so
Yeah. Okay. My personal favorite voice actor of this, while the mutant leader was great, David Selby as Commissioner Gordon.
He had a very good Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon, just as the old, just world weary. This man, it is the definition of I'm getting too old for this shit.
Way too old for this shit. In another comparison, how good would it have been if Bryan Cranston was that Commissioner Gordon? The guy that did it in year one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, but
I mean, that's a different thing. But like in a Dreamcast world.
Well, yeah, but I still think.
Oh, this guy did great.
I think for older Commissioner Gordon, Selby's the way to go.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
A lot of people always give too much emphasis on who's playing Batman, but Commissioner Gordon in the right Batman stories is almost as big a player.
Is it? And in year one, he was more important.
Yeah, in year one, the story of Gordon kicking ass.
And Batman's just there.
And Batman's just there in name only.
Yeah.
But,
there was some... This movie has a lot to commend it. I think I would definitely put it in the top 5 of DC animated films.
Really?
Bottom of the top 5.
I would put it... I'm not sure if I'd go top 5. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what my top 5 were. You got Red Hood's on there.
New Frontier, Red
Emerald
Hood.
Knights. That's me. I don't care about you. Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But it's definitely upper middle for me.
Yeah.
Until I actually sit down and think about it, I'm not sure, but it's up there.
Okay. Well, do you regret buying it?
No. Oh God, no.
Okay. This was a day one purchase.
I think there's only been 1, maybe 2 letdowns in the entirety of my DC movie purchases.
Have they both been Superman?
No.
Oh.
One was Green Lantern First Flight.
Oh yeah.
That one was a big old letdown, just because I had high expectations. It wasn't bad, just And the other one was Superman Sacrifice. Or Doomsday, whatever.
I don't even remember that film.
It was the first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was really bad too.
But that's neither here nor there. I mean, this is a solid entry into the DC animated mythos. And I'm excited because the next one's coming out, the next round are pretty strong. We've got Superman and Brainiac. We've got Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And then we're getting Sinestro Court War.
Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so...
what do you give Dark Knight?
I give this an 8.
An 8?
I fully expect I'm going to enjoy Part 2 more because that was the part of the book I enjoyed most.
Yeah.
When he started getting his team together to take down Superman. Like, that was just great. This part all seemed more build-up.
Yeah.
Even though the payoff with the mutant leader was great, reading the book, it was still build-up. And you can tell.
I'll agree with that. I'm also going to give this an 8. I haven't purchased any of the DC animated films. There's only 2 that I've actually debated going back
Frontier
to pick up.
and...
Probably something else I can't think of offhand. I know there's only 2, though.
Was it Wonder Woman?
It's not Wonder Woman.
Okay.
But...
Wonder Woman!
But it's good. I would like to see them all in one big collection. I think.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be nice. I don't think it's going to happen.
That would imply that they would have to stop making them one day.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, yeah.
Like one big film.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's good.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we're the Nola Nerds. And go see this movie. All right. Head Crab. Wonder Woman 3D.